So I have been invited to the Let's Just Create SMP. I'm joining a little bit later than everyone else did. All right, here we are. I've got... Well, that's definitely something. I've gone through the controls. I've changed what I need to do, like zoom and stuff like that. I haven't actually looked at the mods, so these pigs look very different. Oh yeah, we've got Aeronautics in here as well, which is going to be a heavy focus for me in this, I believe. But I don't necessarily know the direction to go in. I'm very new here, and I guess I will be figuring that out as I go along. So I'm going to head this way. We're going to see what we find, if we find anything. I guess I'll get back to you guys once I have started out a bit. I think because I'm trying to go for more of a create aeronautics type vibe, or not type vibe, type focus on this, I might attempt to make some sort of airport and then make a bunch of planes that people can either like rent out, or they can build their own and like park it at the airport in like this very set hangar. This mountain does look very clear, so I think it is a very easy choice for me to just sit up here and try and set up base up here. Well, at least that has took me to some zinc, but I am not able to mine it yet because I need an iron pickaxe. So I made my one andesite alloy that I could so far, but I need to very quickly make an iron pickaxe. And with that, I can go mine that zinc. So I'm smelting that zinc now, then I'm gonna have to go down to some water and get some water, bring it up here, and then set up water wheels. And I am going to be increasing my fan in the background. I'm very sorry for that, but it is very hot, like in the majority of the world right now. So, you know, make sure you have a fan or just something nice and cold. And make sure you drink water, which is very hypocritical of me because I haven't for days. But, you know, I'll drink some water if you drink some water, okay? We won't need zinc for anything else anytime soon. So I'm just going to use all of the zinc for some andesite alloy, which now makes me realize I'm going to have to mine even more andesite alloy. I wish you could mine andesite alloy. That'd make things a whole lot easier. But I don't think there's a naturally generating andesite alloy vein anywhere. We have over a stack of andesite alloy already. I can turn these into shafts, and then if I get a bunch of wood from out of here, we're going to make a bunch of water wheels. And by a bunch, I mean a whole grand... No, I did not mean to make it... Well, I mean a grand total of 3, but then turn them into large water wheels. And then because I went down and got that water, I can head into here. And this little area I dug out right there. 1, 2, and 3. So large cogwheel, put the casing on there, small cogwheel, large cogwheel, small. And yep, shifting gears means it's going faster. And then with this 8 casing, I can go ahead and make some in-case chain drives. There you go, 1, 2, buckle my shoe. Yeah, gonna need a little bit more than that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're out of zinc, we're out of iron, we're out of everything we kind of need right now, so I guess I'm going back down to some more mining. I take back telling people to drink water. Oh my god, I'm so blind. They're sitting the pebbles, diamonds. I wonder how many diamonds I've missed at this point if I was about to miss these. And now I can go ahead, head back to the surface, get some real food. Well, this went from the most depressing little mining trip ever to suddenly... Football there? So suddenly I might end up with full diamond gear and armor already. If you drop anything, can you make it food, please? And I don't mean rotten flesh, I mean backpack food. Nope, but it is still useful to put everything in here. Okay, home time. Let's not push our luck. We have 16 diamonds. And finally, we have returned. I'm going to start off with getting this iron cooked. I'd love to get some food cooked, but I pushed for diamonds for a reason. So now I have to head spawn in a bit and buy some baked potatoes. And then now we can actually move on. We can get our block of iron. We'll also need another andesite casing in a second, but we can increase this by 1 block now, which is great because that's what I want to do. My mouse is dead. It's okay. I gave my mouse mouth to mouth and now it's back in working order. Put that there. And we still need to destroy some trees, but I can't do that with a saw for a little while because we still need iron sheets. So I'm just going to use one of these logs. We don't actually have a recipe book, but I can just do that, and that to make a mechanical press. Put that down there. And for the saw, we need 3 sheets. Let's finally make our saw. Should remember it to be like this. Yep. And then I think a hand crank is like that. And now I can start cranking out some trees. I've got our hand crank all sorted out, and not hand crank, we've got our saw all sorted out, meaning we can just destroy all the trees we want to around here, which will make life a whole lot easier. And I'm going to head to spawn, I guess. I need to remember to get some sand, and I need to be buying some baked potatoes for my temporary food. So, yep, it's 1 diamond for 256. 2, and then I give it to this guy, I believe. Yep, there we go. And then just give me a cardboard package and a lot of baked potatoes. There we go. It's a whole meal, apparently. I did not realize baked potatoes had that much going on with them. Here we go. And now there are some things to do, such as an encased fan, because I don't like doing things myself. To get a propeller, we need an andesite alloy in the middle. Let's just have our andesite and iron on me. And then we also need some casings for this. Just have to get confirmation that fire tickles off, and then we can put that there and that there. And now we've got our own little area to smelt our ores. So let's just chuck these down into there. And then I believe I still need a cogwheel for that. And then I need some string as well for the goggles, I believe, which sucks because I don't think I've got any string. And here we go, we got our millstone really quick because, you know, we kind of need it. Vertical gearbox. Oh, actually, if anything, we then want to do that down here instead. Vertical gearbox, cogwheel, millstone. There we go. Which doesn't mean it's flower collection time as well, so we can start getting some glue. I don't think Uxie Daisies go for it, but I do know that I've seen some Lily of the Valleys, quite a lot of them as well. I do see some sheep on my minimap, so I'm going to go to them. Hopefully not somehow lose them, and then I can turn their wool into string, and then their string into goggles, and then I also need a small amount of wheat to be able to make the dough that I need. But that part is pretty easy. I've got plenty of bones, it is. And I've actually just noticed something on my map. It says Shiba, as in the dog. Do we have Shiba Inus in this pack? Because if so, I need to tame all of them. I only have 9 bones on me right now. Are there Shiba Inus? And if there are, where are they? Oh my, there are Shiba Inus in Quark. I did not know this. Look at its goofy little tongue it has. Oh my god. Okay. I need another one. I don't know who decided these were needed, but whoever did, I'm greatly in love with them. I got 3 Shibas. You know what that means? I need 3 names for my Shiba Inus. So if you want to give me 3 names for my Shiba Inus, then just comment down below and I will choose 3 names. If there are 3 names from 3 different people, I will choose 3 different names. If not, then I will simply choose from one person. There is a non-zero chance I don't end up speaking to anyone for a little bit in this episode, simply because, you know, I'm getting prepared and stuff. People have already started off and are doing their own things, and I don't know any of these people. However, the end fight is either on this Saturday or this Sunday. It's currently Thursday, and I tend to have these videos edited the day before they come out, or finish on the day of they come out. Maybe we'll meet some people at the end fight, you know. I'll be very confused if I'm the only one there. And I do have a plan for the end fight if I can get upgraded enough and get enough items by that point. And as I said previously, I want to do a lot of aeronautics type things on this server. And I was thinking of bringing a plane to the end fight. But yeah, now if I just mill this 2 white wool, and then I've got 27 lily of the valley, so I could get unlucky. There we go. 2 string. We only actually needed 1. And then I should have the stuff to make goggles. I believe it's 2 glass there and there, a golden sheet, and string. And there we go. We got our goggles. All right, got golden sheets, a stick, and a cogwheel, and now we've got our wrench. And then I can put my engineer goggles on my head slot, and we've got the wrench, and we got no green dye at all. Well, lime dye. I know there's a 10% chance, but we should have still gotten some. Why is Iron Man right next to me? Hello, Iron Man. Hi.
Hello.
I've seen your Iron Man things on the Discord a bit, but I didn't realize it like fully worked in flight and stuff. And that, okay, that is that all done with Figura or whatever it's called?
Oh yeah. It's a pretty powerful mod. You can do lots of things with it.
I did not realize it was that powerful.
I thought like Figure was something with NPCs, but then I saw this and I just created my avatar like.
I thought it was like player-based models only, not like... I was not expecting to turn around to see Iron Man flying in. It flies to you as well?
Yeah. I don't know if the animations sync with other clients, but...
It synced a little bit. I did not expect to be getting a visit from Iron Man today. That was definitely something. I have seen his models on the Discord server, but that's the first time I've seen it in game. That is definitely something interesting. That doesn't change the fact that I require my Lily of the Valleys. There we go. The bees are gay? Oh, that's not a gay bee. At least I didn't destroy their home. What type of bee are you? I can't tell what bee you are. I don't know what that flag is. Well, now I need to get these flowers out and chuck them in here again. I can't have both at the same time. I just need, I believe it's 2 lime dye. That's all I need in this world. Well, not any from those, but maybe the white tulips will give me a higher chance. This is a terrible day to know how to breathe. So I think I figured out the goal I want for this episode now that we're about 2.5 hours in and we've gotten a lot of the basics down. I want to build my base, obviously, but it's not just going to be any base. I want it to be like one of those like dirt runway areas which have like the small little hangar area, like made of like some sort of sheet metal. That will be my base for the beginning. I would have like a little, like, you know, like some hangar areas have like a like a warehouse office in the back of it. That would be where I put all my storage and all of my create stuff. And then inside of it is where I park a plane, and that is what I'm going to try and either get done by the end of this episode, because that'd be great for the end fight. If not, then that'll be next episode's whole thing. I have 60 Lily of the Valleys now. If I don't get my 1 more lime dye, I will absolutely crash out. But knowing how this likes to work, is going to be within the first 5 Lily of the Valleys, and we're going to watch that at the very top as I'm saying this. And if I... Well, anyways, I'll let all of those do their thing anyways, because I still need wheat to be able to do this. So I'm going to get this and this. Make our stone hoe. And we'll just stick it down here in this little area we have. And the easiest way to get the seeds is with this hoe. And I don't know if this is just like a myth or something isn't true, but I mean... I feel like I should prove that it's true. But I'm pretty certain that when you use a hoe on the ground, on the grass, it has a lot of a higher chance to give you seeds. So let's chuck these all down here. Get some bone meal. It's a lot easier to farm as well. Okay, that's great. And now we put... I need to wait for this to be done first. And now we put the wheat in there to make dough, I believe. Wheat flour, then I mix it with water to give me dough, and then, yeah, okay, that makes sense. There we go, we've got 4 wheat flour, and then we have to head back down here, and then in our inventory we mix the wheat flour with water. Should be able to put this 4 dough and lime dye together to get 4 slime balls. So if I put a sheet there, iron nugget there, 2 slime balls there, we've got our super glue. Do I get an achievement for gluing something? I do, but it doesn't tell everyone. I wanted to flex on everyone, even though they've all got, I don't know, a way to get to the moon or something like that already. I know they've got helicopters and stuff, which is cool. I don't know if anyone's made a plane. So for a physics assembler, it is surprisingly easy. And yes, we're delving right into this right now. Because if I want a plane or a hangar or anything like that, in this episode, I need to hurry up. But if I don't, then I mean, it's still going to be a next episode thing anyways. So we still need this sort of things anyways. I believe I can literally just like, I don't know, do this. Definitely a physics block now. That's funny. I don't think I'll just do that, then yep, it goes back over and places itself. That's cool, I guess. And you can also get like handles and stuff. And I know people also get generators. No, not generators. Engines. People get engines. Yeah, portable engine, which requires a blast furnace, engine assemble, iron sheet, which actually isn't that terrible. It's very repetitive to get engine assembly. But if I did that, then I would be able to put that together with a physics thing, a handle, and I'd be able to make a chainsaw. So I actually want to try this out. So I guess first I turn it into a sheet. I guess it'll be a temporary floor thing. I do that once, and then I think it's pressed again. Slice it again. There's a 50-50 chance, so I really do hope that I get it on the first try. I got an iron nugget on the first try. That is not what I wanted at all. Alright, this one work? Nope, iron bars. This one work? Yay! There we go. Engine assembly only took 50 years. And now we can make our blast furnace, meaning we can make our engine. There we go. Now if I make a handle, then I should be able to do red portable engine, saw, and iron handle. Glue this all together. Do that. If I put coal into here, 27 minutes. Oh, it keeps on going as well. Okay. Why can't I lift it? Why can't I lift you? Maybe an extra handle on the front here can help. Like this to move it around places. And then this to actually control where I want it to go, which would make sense because I'm then moving the front bit. Oh, wait, yeah. Well, it's got a coal in it now. There you go. Because this seems to be the way. You use the front bit to control where it aims and the back bit to move the whole thing because of the weight distribution. Oh, yeah, this is definitely working a whole lot better. That did very much help, actually. That does end up being quicker than using the saw itself and picking it up and dropping it. I definitely want to take the coal out because I don't want to kill any of my Shiba Inus. Whilst I was in a Discord call with some friends, I did the very basic, go get some brass, make a very quick mining drill, and very quickly do some mining. I might talk about making a plane in this episode, however that's next episode. I've split those recordings into 2 videos. If I'm good at what I do, you should have seen a lovely little few clips of me getting on mining machine again, similar to the survival world, blah, blah, blah. And getting a bunch of resources. Now, these aren't necessarily useful right this moment. However, they will definitely be useful for what I'm going to be doing for the next few hours after what I'm about to do. But yeah, I've officially figured out how to make my first plane, and that is what I shall be doing soon. However, to make a plane and take it off, you need a runway and you need a hangar to put it in. And well, I want to build it in this area. However, as you can tell, there isn't much room for one right now. So I've just installed a replay mod to the mod pack because it is not usually in here. And that does mean we're about to spend a lot of time with our little chainsaw down there, chopping a bunch of trees. And then we're going to be reusing the mining drill and digging out a massive area on top of this mountain. And then I'm going to have to get some saplings back again and then make it look like we're in the middle of a forest again. And then we're going to build a hangar and an airfield, and then I'm going to... But now this means I get to listen to Taylor Swift and use my chainsaw for like next 30 minutes, and then continue listening to Taylor Swift and use my mining drill for like an hour. I appear to have a visitor. It's not really a clear spot for them to land here.
Hello?
Oh, hi. Seems pretty simple to fly. Oh. Where'd he go?
Where'd who go?
The helicopter.
Oh, it's in my pocket.
There's an item for that?
Yeah, It's called the portable structure container.
Oh, I didn't realize there was a crafting recipe for that.
It might have been added by Max, I don't know.
I think it was because I was in creative looking to see if it was, and we weren't able to, but that is going to be very useful. I plan to bring my plane to the end fight and just try and fight a dragon whilst flying my plane.
Well, then that will be very
Oh.
helpful.
You just have these around to give?
I have 3 more in my hand.
Oh, well, the most I can give you in return is a stack of oak saplings.
This is genuinely so useful.
Is it actually?
There's no oak by my base.
Yeah, I've got quite a lot.
So like I'm gonna make a tree farm pretty soon, and I was gonna have to farm these. I like your skin.
Oh, thank you. My friend made it for
works
me.
really well with the goggles.
It does, and then when you look at the back, you realize there's a face when I'm wearing goggles.
I love it.
And that was not done on purpose. Well, you guys probably were at most see like a minute of that conversation, but a very, very lovely person. They were here for around like 30-40 minutes, give us a lot of lovely gifts of iron and nether star even to be able to get our a portable structure container. I have destroyed the majority of the trees around here now. There are some around the edges around here, but I am going to have to move all of my items now, which is going to be annoying. So, time-lapse should be all done now. I did a little bit more than the original plan. Oh, I'm just going to mine out this area. I've completely paved the whole thing. I've decorated it a little bit with these dirt paths and coarse dirt around the edges. And I've used some bone meal as well around the edges and these little oak picket fences, mainly for the area over there. Obviously, those aren't going to stop a plane, realistically. But, you know, if there are people around here, then... yeah, it might be a good thing to have this here. I am slowly learning how to build the plane I have made in creative mode. However, it is still quite a learning process, especially because it is completely made by myself. Therefore, meaning it's not going to be the best plane possible. And on top of that, I only have the experience with Create Aeronautics on, I don't know, pretty much only on this server, because I've done absolutely nothing on the survival series of just, you know, us. My next area that I need to work on is here, which I'm going to be making a hangar for the plane to go in, meaning I need to increase the dirt around this area to go up there and then connect up there. And then like a hangar building right here. I do not know what blocks to use yet for it. I know there are plenty of iron sort of blocks and stuff like that. If I search iron, then, well, I mean, it's quite a lot, but we've already got iron plates being used on the actual building. The sheet metal does actually look pretty good. However, it is very, very, very expensive. But at the end of the day, I did just to get like 7 stacks. Search what other types of sheet metal there are. There's andesite sheet metal as well. So I think I am going to use sheet metal through a stone cutter for the building. I think the best option is going to be starting off with a bomb with industrial sheet metal, and then going up with andesite sheet metal, and then towards the top we use the iron sheet metal as like a little gradient that goes along. So I think we start here with our industrial sheet metal, and I'd love to be able to make this look a bit messy. However, that spider scared me for a second. I would like to make this a little bit messy. However, as it is, the only way to do that would be with the other industrial iron sheet metal, which costs a little bit more. And as of right now, I don't have the riches for that. And also, this is missing out on so much space. We're going to need so much more materials for this. I think with the way this turn is coming in, then this lines up perfectly. I might make it the same size each side, simply just to reduce the amount of resources used. So this would be up to here and would actually turn going this way. And from the looks of the plane, it should go in there pretty perfectly based on the way it looks. I do realise now the only way for me to turn the plane or reverse it is to go on the front and reverse the propeller bearing around. But that should hopefully be fine. Emphasis on the hopefully. Well, luckily we have more industrial sheet metal than any other of our types, so this should be fine. We also still do have another 2 stacks on top of the ones we have in our inventory. And with that building being done right behind me, that is the end of this episode. There will be another one next week, and there will still be a Create Automated episode on the second half of this week, as there usually has been for the past month or so. Absolutely nothing is happening to that series, and yeah, I mean, if you made it to this point and you're still listening to me and you're not subscribed, why not? And I will see you next time. Bye.